Hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name's Desley and I'm very much into journaling, planning and all things stationery, especially Hobonichi. And I asked recently if people would be interested in having an accountability partner for the 5-year techo or any 5-year journal in that case, because it can be difficult to keep up with. And I know that because I had one in 2021, and I fell off of it. You know, life was a bit difficult then. So I also was journaling in multiple journals, I should say. So what I've done this year is just use this as my daily journal. So if I want to do anything longer, like more detailed feelings type journaling, I'll do that elsewhere. But this one is just housing my what happened today, a little snapshot of my life today, so that I can look back each year on how it's different to the year before, or what has changed or what is the same, which I think is, I have done this before many years ago for a 3-year journal, and I really loved going back and looking at it. So I'm really keen to keep this up, and so to help me do that, I'm asking you to help me do that, and hopefully I can help you do that at the same time. So let me just do a very quick flip through of where we're up to. I started it this year. This is the 2023 to 2027 Hobonichi Techo. Keeping it very simple in terms of decoration. There is virtually none. And I'm just purely writing a little bit about my day, and then I'm choosing a word to represent something that I felt that day and writing it in some kind of lettering. I'm not super happy with how this lettering is turning out, but I have some ideas on how to make it a little better. So January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, etc. So this one I said travel, but then I went, oops, this is tomorrow, because actually I traveled the next day. Some Animal Crossing, some shopping at Dior. So I've just gone through, and probably every second or third day I'm catching up. There was a time when I was doing every single day, but I did occasionally have to stop that. My car battery died 3 times in the one day. And then we get to, I think the 18th was the last day I've written in here, but you can see I haven't done my word on the side here either since the 38 degrees on the 14th. Yeah, so I've got to do the 15th onwards for that. And I did write on the 18th, but I'm up to the 19th. So, also, I've just been using the Uni 1 pen. This is a 0.38 pen, I think. And yes, it is. And I like it because it's so black, but my plan was to use this Kaweco Sport with pink ink for this year, and then switch to a different ink color for next year, etc. And I do still want to do that, so I thought from today I might switch to this. My hesitation is this is the medium nib, so it's not as thin as this pen, but I think I'll give it a go. What I have done in the back, in one of these spare pages, is just do a swatch of the Ferris Wheel Press Velvet Ballet ink that I have in there, and I can see that beautiful shimmer on there. It's going into multiple colors. And then I'm using the Sailor Shikori brush pen for my word on the side page. So I think I will switch to this pen now for the rest of this month, but I am going to take this pen with me when I travel. So I will likely switch between the black and the pinkish ink over the next few days. So one thing that people often complain about with a 5-year is, or any journal in that case, is remembering what you did on each day. So today is the 22nd of January. It's Lunar New Year, and so therefore I have 3 days to catch up on, and I do that in multiple ways. There's a few ways that I try to figure out what I've done in those days if I can't remember. And one of those is to grab my phone and head to my text messages, to Facebook Messenger, and also to Instagram to have a look at what I've posted over those days. So then I can see, you know, what I've posted on what days. That gives me a little hint as to how I was feeling that day. So I have a couple of options to figure out how I have spent my time in the last few days. The other one is in my health journal. I do tend to keep up with this one every day. So let me just show you the most recent spread. So I'm working on this one now, but actually I've also stopped here on the 19th. So the start of the week was incredibly busy and very stressful, I have to say. So I didn't actually feel like doing anything on those other days. Yesterday, however, I spent the day at a planner day session. A bunch of us all got together and just did some journaling, crafting, planning, whatever together. And I had my cousin with me. And this is where I'm doing memory keeping spreads. So a quick flip to show you the first week of the year. Well, this was the 1st of January here. And then the actual first week of the year last week or the week before, and then this was the week, so here is yesterday, planner day. So I actually went through yesterday while I was at planner day and figured out exactly what happened each day. So I can use those notes now to do the journaling in here. So it may seem like a little bit of a double up, but what I'm recording here is a lot more minimal than what I'm recording in the memory spread planning. In the memory spread, but I have the memory spread because I love doing that sticker spread planning type style, but I also want to have this where I'm tracking it every single year. So a couple of different reasons for doing it, I guess. But what I'll do is just dive in and start writing. So I do invite you, if you do have a 5-year journal or any journal that you wanted to catch up on, to come along and write with me today. It can be hard to figure out how to find the time. I typically find in the evenings is the best for me. I have been putting my journals in a Delphonics pouch on my side table on the couch, and that's been excellent. That's what happened to me at the end of last year. But since I've got back from travel, I haven't, I haven't unpacked the Delphonics pouch that I took all the other stuff in. So I haven't got it set up the right way, which I think is part of the reason why I've fallen off as well. So it's Sunday afternoon now, but I think I'm going to premiere this video, so I'll give you some notice so that you can come along and journal with me if you want to. So I might just pop a little bit of music on while I write about the 19th, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a second. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled in the 19th. I will say this fountain pen ink is gorgeous. The nib might be a little too thick for me. If I just show you against the previous page, I do tend to write, I mean, the writing is much thinner. But, you know, I wrote everything I wanted to write, so I think that's okay. And what I'll do now is I'll write on this side, because the other thing about using the uni pen is it dries incredibly quickly, so I wouldn't have to worry about anything smudging here. So I'm going to grab, how cute is this pencil case? It's from Sakura Mochi Design Co. I'll link it actually. It's so cute, and I have a discount code as well. In here I'm keeping my Sailor Shikori brush pens. I've only recently picked up the last 15. I had 5, and this is the one that I'm using to match this ink. But how pretty are these? I absolutely adore them. They are really lovely pens. I don't think I did an unboxing. I can't remember actually. But it has a very nice brush tip at one end, and the other end is an incredibly fine tip. So you get the best of both worlds in this pen, much like a Tombow, but it's short, so it fits in pencil cases easily. But also I think the colours are just stunning. They're released in 4 packs of 5, and each pack is a season, so I think this one comes from the autumn season. It's just beautiful. So I was planning originally to just do the same text all the way through. I was kind of thinking of doing this kind of very minimal font with an underline, but it just didn't work out for me, and I don't, like I said, I don't love the way it looks, so I'm just going to do whatever I want. The plan, I think it'll be great in the end, because there'll be different coloured inks using with different words all over the page, and I might do some doodles or something as well, maybe as time goes on, but yeah, I just don't love it right now. So, and I'm not a great brush letterer either. I'm not a great letterer, but I think that's part of the charm as well, might be seeing how my writing changes over the 5 years. So I'm going to choose forecast as the word for today, because we're working on the forecast at work, and it was an incredibly tedious task, and it has taken up my first 2 weeks back at work. So I'm just going to write that in here. It's probably not going to be pretty, but anyway, it'll be done. So one thing I love about the fine tip on this is that you can use it to fill in some of your shaky spots. I had very shaky end of my T there and this part of the S. I'm disappointed that my top of the S here doesn't have the hole in it like this one does on the R. But, you know, it's me. It's just my writing, and it's not great, but it's also about the word more than anything else, I think. So I'm okay with it. I will move along. What I do need to do is fill in the days for the previous day, sorry, the words for the previous days. So I have to do 15 onwards, and that, I don't know how long that's going to take to dry, so I think I'll just pop in. I don't have my pencil board with me, but I'm going to just use this Coffee Monsters Co card, and I'll pop back to the 15th for now, and figure out what I want to say here. Okay, I think I want to say tired because I was very tired. Okay, so I ended up writing so tired there, and I've just decorated with a few Z's or Z's if you're Australian like me. Alright, let's see. Did this... Yeah, it did leave a little bit of a purple mark on there, but I think it should be dry enough for me to pop this in here instead now. So let's move to day 16. Actually, I don't need it, do I? To the 16th, and... Okay, the 16th, I was unexpectedly working from home because my puppy was a bit sick, so I just wanted to stay home and keep an eye on her. So I'm just going to do work from home. Super simple. And I think I'll just draw a little house here. I have never lived in a house with a chimney, but I've always drawn houses with chimneys. I don't know why. Well, I do. That's all we see in popular culture, I think, is houses with chimneys. So anyway, 16th was a work from home day. 17th was also work from home, and I remember very well that I was stuck at my desk from 11:30 till 5:30 without moving. So I'm gonna write so I'm just gonna write a 6-hour sit and a sad face because it was very sad. It was so painful, I have to say. Trying to get up after a 6-hour sit was stupid. It was my own fault. I should have just got up. Alright, the 18th ended up being another work from home just because I had a very late appointment. But I had a really fabulous meeting with my team in the afternoon. And, you know, it made my soul happy. I haven't seen all of them together since before the holiday. So I'm going to just write, I heart my team. Okay, so that's the 18th, and now we're up to the 19th. I think I'll pop this in here just in case, because I'm going to move on now. I think my fountain pen ink is going to be dry, and I'm going to move on to the 20th. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that I am writing what city I'm in on this top line here. So I live in Melbourne, but I do travel a fair bit. Well, not a lot, but I do travel, I would say 3 or 4 times a quarter, or maybe a bit more. So I just want to record where I am. I think it's interesting to see where you are each year, and it's kind of fun when you're in the same place that's different to your home on the same day on a different year. Weird, I know, but that's just me. Okay, I'm going to write about the 20th. Okay, so there's the entry for the 20th. And what I didn't write about here was that I finished the final episode of I finished the final episode of Big Bang Theory ever on this day. I mean, I've watched the entire series many times, but the most recent watch that I've done, which is this end of this last year and this year, I just love the show so much that I watch it all the time. It's my comfort food. So I might just write Big Bang Theory. Okay, there we go. Nothing astounding there, just probably my favourite show, and yeah, like I said, I've watched it so many times. It'll be interesting to see if I'm watching again at the same time next year. I probably will be. I watch it fairly regularly. That and the Jurassic Park films actually are my faves. Alright, so I'm not sure if you can tell here, but my ink kind of looked like it was running out here. I started writing with the pen up quite straight, just to, that sort of gives you a little less width on the nib, and it did definitely do that. You can see that it's thick at the top and much thinner at the bottom, but it did actually start to feel like it was running out. I've checked, there's still plenty of ink in the converter, so I think I won't do that, straight up and down thing on the next page. Okay, and now we're on to the 21st, which was yesterday, so I'm nearly caught up, and I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments how you're going and if this is useful to you. Do you bring your stuff along, or do you just watch just with a coffee or whatever? Keen to know. I often don't work while I'm watching, like I don't do anything while I'm watching in my journals, except maybe write notes about things, because often I find YouTubers have very interesting things to talk about and lots of new things we can try, so I do love to learn from other YouTubers, and I will take those notes while I'm watching. Okay, I'm going to fill in the 21st and be right back. Okay, there's the 21st, and I'm just going to write Planner Day up here, maybe in the middle. Let's try something different this time for the lettering. It won't be that different, but okay, there we go, Planner Day. That's it, I think we're done. Today is the 22nd, so I think I'll leave it. I like to leave it to the end of the day. It's, middle of the day now, 2:13 in the afternoon. I have found that this pen has started to kind of, I don't know, the ink is not coming out so well, so I will have a little play with the pen and see if I can fix that up for next time. I do like the colour though. It's quite nice to have that sort of more muted red rather than the black, but I do love a black as well. Like it's nice to have that really sharp, crisp look on your page, I think. Alright guys, let me know what you think and if this has been useful at all. I enjoy writing in this journal, and mainly I think because I can kind of envision what's going to happen in the future and see how the time changes, how my style changes, how the things in my life change. I think it's quite interesting and really nice to see in some cases what you're grateful for, in some cases what upset you that day. I think I had originally decided to put something that I'm grateful for on this page, but it hasn't turned out that way because, well, I think it's nice sometimes to be realistic as well about your life, and sometimes by really recognizing what it is that has upset you can help you move on from that or whatever as well, I think. So I like to sort of put in here what was the major concept for the day. This was beautiful. This was a catch up with one of my staff, and I spent some time with his family, and in particular his daughter was just beautiful. Just loved her so much. She was a gorgeous. So yes, that's it. That's my 5-year journal so far. We are 2/3 of the way, I guess, into January, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's working out so well. I think the key, like I said in the beginning, was to not have a regular journal and a 5-year journal at the same time, because for me that was just too much to catch up on, too much to keep up with each day. It really just wasn't working for me. So I think, yeah, definitely this has helped me stay on track for sure, being able to just have one planner as my catch-all for journaling about the day. And like I said, journaling about the feelings will go elsewhere. Just a sneak peek, it's going to be in this Thinking of You planner. It's from Mr. Eggplant's. I think this will be, maybe, I'm not sure actually, I haven't quite decided whether this will be a feelings type journal or a more a creative journal. I do have a creative journal already, so probably shouldn't, but I just love the style of that planner so much that I probably will. It's a little bit like the cousin but without the dailies at the back, so that kind of speaks to me, and it'll be maybe a bit like this, but not in that style at all, not that cute style at all. I plan to hopefully do a bit of lettering in there, better than what I'm doing in here. I don't know how I'm going to make it better, but the plan is to make it better. I think, you know, these brushes are awesome, but they are quite big, so moving to something like the Tombow Funosuke pen, which has a smaller tip and a harder tip, much easier to control and much easier to write small. That might be what I end up doing, but I can't help it. I love these so much. They're just beautiful pens, and the color range is exquisite, so I'll probably do both over the course of the year. And if you'd like to hang out with me and see how that works, I'd appreciate it. And I love to have you guys with me. I love the conversations that we're having in the comments about all of the things that we're doing this year. And if in particular you found this accountability video handy, something to remind you to keep on track with your 5-year, and if you do have time to sit and journal with me, then that's even better. I'm really thinking that this is going to be a way for me to stay on top of it as well. Particularly at the moment, my brain seems to just not be able to remember what I did the day before. And actually canvassing the Planner Day team yesterday, most people couldn't remember what they did the day before, not in enough detail to write about it. So it's quite funny, but I'm glad I'm not alone in that. I thought I was the only one. So it's good to know that it's a common thing. But having those places you can go to, your text messages, your DMs, even what you're posting on social media, or your work calendar, those kind of things can all help you remember what you were doing that day. And yes, hopefully that helps. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming along and watching my 5-year journal journey. Please join me if you wish to. I'd love to have you along, and let's see, maybe in about 2 or 3 weeks, see where we're up to and how we're going. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all again super soon. Bye.